This is an Italian Pitina, a close relative to the French Béret Basque. Essentially, a dry sausage without any casing, easy to make and as delicious as its counterpart. This video is about showing you how to make it at home with no additives. You can refer to the description of this video for quantities and proportions. You'll start with top-rated quality meat. This is venison and you want to trim out all the sinews and silver skin. Chop them in sizable pieces for the meat grinder. I'm also adding some pork. You do not have to, but I'll do a 70% venison, 30% pork. Then, you need some fat. This is delicious pork, Fatback. This is what butcher use to wrap up nice roast. You also need it diced. I'll put it in the freezer while I grind the meat. I don't want the fat to warm up and get all squishy in the grinder. I like to use a 30% of fat ratio. So for an example, for 2 kg of pure meat, I'll be using 600 grams of fat. If you have a KitchenAid stand mixer, the metal food grinder attachment is a no-brainer. I grind the meat first, using a coarse plate. This will give a nice chunky texture to your pitina. When I'm done with the meat, then I grind the fat, and I'll use a little bit more than the projected 30% to make sure everything is pushed out of the grinder. Some people will add bread to push whatever is left in the grinder. That's also work. The seasoning. The most important aspect of seasoning is your salt ratio. Total mixture is 2.6 kg or 2600 gram, for which you'll need something between 2.5 to 3% of salt. 2.5% to 3% of 2600 gram equates to 65 gram to 78 grams. I do not advise to go lower than 2.5%. Salt plays a crucial role in preventing bacterial growth. The high salt concentration creates a significant osmotic pressure difference between the bacterial cells and their environment. It's important to have everything mixed well for the salt and fat distribution to be equal for the best result. I washed my hands thoroughly as we were still in 2020. Nails were trimmed, rings removed, and mix it to the best of your abilities. The wine will make the mixture very sticky. You run to something. It's a good sign. For the final step, you'll need some cornmeal or grits or polenta, whatever you want to call it, but the finest possible. Alternatively, you can also use some corn flour. Make some balls and make sure to use enough pressure so you don't have any hole inside the meatballs. Having a hole inside will oxidize the interior and will look unsightly and may as well ruin the maturing process. You can shape them in any way you like. I like the round stick or cheese-like disc, but I'm trying to have an even thickness so the drying process is equal. And you're done. Now the hardest is ahead. Pro tips here. I use a secondary fridge. I raised the temperature to 10 degrees Celsius. I also added a bowl of water saturated with salt to keep the humidity level stable. Make sure you turn them over once a day for the next 4 weeks. You don't have a secondary fridge, it's okay. Just use the one you have. The only difference is the drying process will happen faster, and there will be less fermenting, but it's also very legit. How to know when they're done other than just waiting 4 weeks? For the drying period, I aim at 35% loss in weight. Monitoring the weight of each patty is a better indicator than just waiting 4 weeks. If you have access to a smoker, you could cold smoke the patties for 2-3 hours before starting the drying process. Now come on folks, look at that. It's quite obvious. The person who came up with the no heaven on earth idea never had pitina, wine, cheese surrounded by friends at sunset. A pity, for he had no pitina.